travelling east towards the Kwinana Freeway. It's a fair way off yet, say 4 kilometres. This land is all still part of the buffer zone. Now, there are residential property developers who would love to get their hands on this land a little bit further east of here. And Kwinana Industries Council, for the last 9 years of my time in this job, I have been fighting to resist that. But they're a very strong lobbying group, and they take a lot of work to resist. So we're going to move now to head south. When we're looking south, you can see the residue storage, the orange area. That's Alcoa's residue storage area, and that's important. That's the red on the map that I gave you. Now, this land right across to the Kwinana Freeway, which is probably 3 kilometres, maybe, yeah, 3 kilometres, maybe a bit less, is in the sights of 2 property developers for residential development. I've seen the plans which show houses right up to here. It's very constrained land. Now, on this side, on the left, is a beautiful wetland, and if you look carefully, you'll see a little man in a boat fishing. Well, if you think that's what it is, you've been caught. It's actually a mannequin that's fishing there, and somebody's got a good sense of humour. I swear I didn't put it there myself. So we've got a little bit of horticultural use through here. As we get further in, you'll see some market gardens. Now, I want you to think about this area. We've just come off the east-west road, which would be Rowley Road, which would be a freight link, linking Rockingham Road with the Kwinana Freeway. Kwinana Freeway is just over that ridge. Ahead of us, a couple of kilometres, will be the southern boundary of this area, Ankertel Road, a major freight route. We've got the freeway, Kwinana Freeway on that side. Overhead, we've got massive pylons, electricity pylons, transmission lines. You can't build under that, and who'd want to live near it anyway? And then immediately on our right is the Alcoa residue storage area, the toe of the residue storage area. So it is a really constrained piece of ground. But there's 2 residential property developers that want to turn this into housing, and I reckon they've got rocks in their head. The Department of Health says, as a requirement, if this happens, that any residential titles created here shall have a notification on them which says to be aware of the health or amenity impacts of industrial dust. So they're flagging their concerns, yet these property developers seem to be getting a really good run at it. Now, there's a statutory process in place to determine what this area should be used for, and I'm hoping that it'll be a transparent process. It seems like it's heading down that path, but I know how influential these property developers can be. Having said that, if this land, because if we get the new port, well, we know we're going to at some stage, and we're going to get industrial development through latitude 32. So, and Lithium Valley is rapidly taking off in the industrial area. It's going to need more room, like the core needs more room. This area through here could be levelled off, quarried, etc., and transformed into a new industrial area. And for those people from Perth, like Canning Vale. So Canning Vale is a mixed-use light industrial area, primarily set up to service the port. So that's container storage, truck maintenance, marshalling, you name it, that sort of thing. All of that could happen through here. And these residents on my right who think that their best option is for the property developers to get urban zoning on this land would, in my view, do far better to get together and jointly fund a study, a planning approval process to have their land zoned for light or special industry. And what that would mean for them is that they would, in all likeliness, achieve a much, much better property value. One of the laws of property ownership and investing is the person who holds the title when the value of the land is lifted makes a paper profit, crystallised when the land is sold. So they would be far better sitting on light or special industrial land today rather than the rural zoning that they have. But that's their call, and I'll be putting that perspective through that statutory planning process. Now we're on Ankertel Road here. Ankertel Road will be, as I've said before, the major freight route into and out of the port and join about 10 kilometres to the east to Tonkin Highway. Imagine this road as 2 lanes going west, and further over there 2 lanes going east, with a corridor for 2-way rail down the middle. And this would be like the freight freeway into the new port.